So what happened last week?
Not this.
Let's movie. Dustin, do movies lose being special when they go right to a streaming service and the theater at the same time?
Hollywood's hoping not.
Do you feel like disappointed? Like, because there kind of used to be some excitement for certain releases and movies. You're like, dude, I can't wait to overpay for a 3D. Remember 3D, everyone?
Tickets. Don't bring up 3D.
But there was kind of a sense of excitement to see something in the theater. And now, you would either have that, I'll wait till it goes out of the theater. I'll catch it on the DVD. Kids, that was a disc. They put a movie on. I won't bother you with it. And you would catch it maybe at your leisure, right? In the home or in the theater. That was kind of it. And how you digested the movie was either one. You're like, man, I'll catch that when it gets home. Or I'll catch that when it gets on TV. And now it's like, well, I'm going to catch that on Paramount Plus day in, day of.
I'm glad, because I would have seen the Infinite. Oh, wait. Infinite.
Just
The Infinite was a bad Rob Liefeld comic book with Robert Kirkman. That's
right.
Different.
I remember that.
Yeah. How could you forget?
Voluntarily.
Yeah, I wouldn't have seen this in the theater. You know, I'm sure this probably would have done poorly in the theater as well.
I think they call it it would have been a bust.
Yeah, would it have been a box office stinker, you know?
It would have probably been destroyed by the weekend competition.
Definitely.
On all 5 screens that they were like, we should do 6 screens. And one guy's like, what, do you want to ruin us?
You can bring a downfall. Movie industry's already teetering on nothing.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about the streaming yet. Because on one hand, I really am not bothered by it because it feels like going to a movie theater sometime a young man's game. And I'm not a young man, you know. But then I do enjoy taking my son to the theater to see the stuff he wants to see or whatnot. But
I think it would
other times like this and like that Godzilla vs. King Kong, I wouldn't have fucking seen that in the theater.
But I think that would have helped movies like this because of that curiosity factor. That's true. That big blow them up, smashy. Look at the stunts.
But that's the thing is they can show the engagement numbers, and that's all they care about now. I don't know. I really don't know streaming algorithm and how they gauge that being successful. Like, how does Netflix make money? I do not know. To this day, I still don't know.
It's just creating that, that catalog that you can only get with that company. They've cut down how many times you can share it, and they're just kind of bringing in the revenue of what generates hours, over the top hours, and what's boosting subscriptions. I mean, they have their blockbusters on their own in their kind of playground and their level. And I'm pretty sure someone way more versed in the subject will be like, this is what happens, dude. But what happened here was Infinite on Paramount Plus, I assume from Paramount.
Yeah, they were like, let's get our own streaming so we could stop selling everything to Netflix. We could just put our turds out ourselves.
It's based off a book.
Yeah.
Called, what is it? Reincarnationist Papers?
Yeah. Something similar to that.
It's got Marky Mark / not John Cena. He looks like
it is. It's Marky Mark / John Cena.
He looks like John Cena. It came out June 20th, 2021. It's 106 minutes, United States, English. I don't know the numbers on it because it's going to probably be spotty. If it got a limited release, but I don't see any evidence of it.
I don't think it did. Because what I read on this was that they woke up. Like, they did the big trailer review, and all the producers and stars woke up and found out their shit was going to Paramount Plus, and they were like, what? We didn't sign on for that.
And Antoine Fuqua was like, remember when I did Replacement Killers with Chow Yun-Fat?
That was great, wasn't it? What about Training Day? The American audience seems to really love the Training Day, and Dustin didn't really give a shit, but, everyone else was like...
Everyone else.
We'll never forget Training Day.
Thanks, COVID.
But what about now, Kevin? What has he done for us lately?
He's actually done a lot.
Too much. None of it good.
But popular.
Yeah, well, I mean, I will say I enjoyed the first Equalizer. Hated The Magnificent Seven.
Never saw it. Never saw either one.
I mean, I haven't seen the original, but I watched the remake. And
I've seen the original Magnificent.
But the remake is real bad.
Was there a lot of camera tilting unnecessarily? Was there a camera flip?
It was like, do you want to like any of these characters?
Oh, I just meant the cinematography.
Okay. I really don't remember the cinematography being a thing that it did well. Yeah. So there's like a lot of explosions for a cowboy movie. Like a lot.
Like everyone just had TNT up their ass.
No, that's how Chris Pratt dies. He is just full of TNT and just blows up 5 people because that's all that was around him. And then the explosion is just like, boom, I'm taking out a building in Florida. And then done. Topical.
Yeah, I wish his 5 minutes were up.
I think they're getting close. He's no longer the internet's poster boy. So.
I know I stand alone in that because I think a lot of people are like, we love him. Yeah. Have you ever sat through an episode of Parks and Rec? I was like, yeah.
I haven't actually.
I have.
Never seen one.
Mexico, 1985.
Yeah. Last Life, as it says, which
yes.
is very confusing.
Very confusing as you as the immediate viewer.
Yeah. And what year was it?
1985?
1985.
He's whipping that Ferrari around. But then they get a Bugatti later, and I was like, oh, I woke up in a Bugatti once. Great song.
He's driving that Ferrari around. Okay, 1985. All right? And then he reincarnates into a 50-year-old Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg's 50.
Did you ever see his Jordans? I think he had Jordan 4s.
No, I'm not.
They're dope.
I'm not going to be a shoehead for fucking Mark
Sneakerhead.
Sneakerhead. What?
Jesus Christ.
That's why I said it that way.
Because I don't know what I'm talking
about. Mark Wahlberg, because I'm not going to be a sneakerhead for him either.
Have you had the burger?
No, I'm not eating his racist burger.
I just want to try the burger. Does that make me a racist?
If you eat the burger and enjoy it.
Maybe I just want a burger. The cow wasn't racist.
You can only eat it and be like,
Let's say something like...
Your family, Mark. Trouble. Very problematic.
I don't like Boston. He's like, what?
He's like, whoa, why would you sit here and eat a burger and say that to us?
Am I not in Texas in this scenario? Isn't that the closest one?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're big in Texas.
Are you talking about Whataburger or the Wahlburger?
I don't know
They're two different things.
Don't they own both?
They do not. No.
There you go.
Wahlburger had a TV show where his younger brother looks a lot like him, but like with a huskier face.
Well, they're brothers. What is he supposed to look like? The milkman?
I know, but he's like, oh, that's why you're the chef. You know, that's why you're behind the grill.
Because he can't be in front of the house?
Nah, he does not have the face for acting. So, anyway, yeah, so we're driving this Ferrari. I found this infinitely boring.
It was a very disappointing chase scene.
Well, it's like, I don't know your tone of your movie yet. Don't give me a car chasing. Because frankly, a lot of car chasing is really fucking dull. Especially in the movies we've watched lately. So yeah, I was instantly like, this is going to suck.
I do perk up if I see a good car chase.
No, for sure. But I've never seen a movie start with one where I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You're leading with story. I see that.
Not enough quick cuts of them slamming it into gear.
Yeah, slamming into gear.
And just like double clutching and fucking just hitting the e-brake. I did like the bridge flip where he dropped the e-brake and
that was good. But that was cool. Like,
but then he jumped off it. I was like, bullshit.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? He was like, he put his hand out, like doing the little kid thing, like, I feel the wind.
Oh, I like that.
I'm in control now. Yeah. And I was like, oh.
I was like, is he gonna ride the wind?
And he's making a phone call to some guy named Abel.
Yeah.
Some woman.
That's Nora. His infinite buddies. Get it?
Yeah.
Bros and hoes for life.
It's the weirdest threesome ever. Yeah. So
they're a troop. I gotta add another one, right?
And they're just like really in love. They're holding hands a lot. Just
all three of them, or I don't remember that.
No, Abel and Nora.
Oh yeah.
And the Bugatti.
Later.
I was going to say something else. I will not. And he's just like, I got the egg. Don't let him get the egg. What's the other guy's fucking name?
Henrik?
Doraemon? No, not that guy.
Bathurst?
Bathurst.
Okay.
That's as close as I'm getting to it. So
yeah, close enough.
They're like, don't let him get it. Just remember, look inside. The worst hint ever. Look inside what? The egg. But you have the egg.
All right, so here's the thing,
inside.
everyone. We're just going to address this right off the bat.
Yeah.
He has a wound in his gut that he did it with a pocket knife, right? But he cut his gut perfectly so he's not bleeding like a stuffed pig.
Yeah.
And then he puts the egg in his cut.
Yep.
And then
they study his body for 25 years for science.
I knew it was 1985 because he had a cigarette lighter, and he probably didn't have to pay extra in that car. And then he uses it to seal the wound. That doesn't look... No problems here, man. This guy loves cigarettes, but he's bad at juggling fire.
Yeah.
And they don't cut this guy open. They don't give him an autopsy. Was his body wasted away in the ocean or the water or whatever when he flipped it off the bridge, or they did the sword fight on the scaffolding?
No. Remember? They preserved his body. They show it later. That's what I'm saying. They had it. They were studying it. They even said we were studying his body.
So when
no one opened the body. What were you studying then?
Can you not X-ray MRI his body just to see what makes him impotent? And then you're like, oh, why is there a giant metal sphere?
We found the egg. We don't need to find him again. Just let him die and reincarnate again.
So immediately, once you get this, you don't find this out to the very end of the movie. Once again, big spoilers.
Right from the jump. It's not a very big spoiler because it's just kind of like...
It's more like when you see him do it, you're like, yeah, he's shoving it up his ass. I get it.
I get it. I'm more having questions about how they didn't already find it. That's really...
So now you already have... Later on, you find out there's a sets of infinite people that kind of go into these two subsects that are just kind of war all the time. And now you find out the bad guys are the stupidest bad guys you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And the good guys are very
the stupidest good guys you've ever seen.
Maybe just as dumb as the bad guys.
Yeah. Like, how did the bad guy not already know where their base was?
I think he did.
Why wouldn't he just go in and just download all of them? Boop, 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 boop.
No, that's another thing, so...
Alright, well, let's finish this car chase thing, because there's a lot of, like... I don't know, there's just a lot of driving.
There's a lot of driving.
And then the Able guy's like, don't go towards the bridge!
Literally thought it was a Geico commercial.
And he's just like, I'm gonna go look inside! Look inside, Able!
And he's like, well, I haven't eaten all day. I feel kind of grumpy, and you're not listening, so...
Look inside, Able! He's like, I'm trying to, man. I mean, meditation's hard when you're driving a Bugatti, white knuckle holding your hands with the love of your fucking head.
They're not in the Bugatti until later.
Whatever they're driving. Porsche?
The Bugatti's the one that goes through the fucking wall and is just like...
yeah, you're right. Oh, I thought that was an...
He had a battling...
Aston Martin. I don't know cars, people.
Well, it has a big B in the wings on it.
Yeah. Is that what that stands for? Oh.
The B don't stand for A things.
Well, anyway, so he drives the fucking Ferrari off an unfinished bridge, and he's just like, you're never gonna make that jump. I was like, jump to what, motherfucker? There's not another into that bridge. They're not building it yet, you dipshit.
Yeah,
we're in Mexico in the 80s.
I think he meant, like, you're not gonna make it. When that car jumps off a cliff.
Well, he was like, fuck you, I made it. I threw this sword. I latched onto the sword. The car fell perfectly down. Abel and Nora arrive. Instantly, they're hit by a fucking dump truck because Bathurst only drives, I guess, industrial equipment vehicles. That's all he's like, if I can't see over 19 cars, it's not for me. I don't know if you noticed that.
No, yeah, he always anything with heavy machinery, he was certified.
And could drive it 80 miles plus, easy. So he plows into Abel and Nora. He shoots some weird blue bullet, and we're out.
Dude, I think you might be right. I think it might be an Aston Martin.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, I'm not great at cars, but I was like, I thought that was an Aston Martin. It looked like one to me. Some mini cars I know, but I thought I did. Anyway. And then we wake up and we're fucking...
Yeah, I think you're right. But there's no Aston Martin songs.
Well, I mean, take that up with the rap community. So, or the name of the car, since who the fuck's gonna rap?
They'll find a way. They'll find a way.
Aston Martin, no, fuck it.
The hip hop community will.
Go again.
I don't know if they're gonna let you.
Someone let us know in the comments. I'm sure the song already exists if it has been done. So
maybe I was just so ready to talk about the song that
you're just very hopeful. I'm sorry I squashed your dreams. So.
That's fine.
We'll just call it a Bukkake. You know, I'll call it a Bukkake at least a couple times. But
you know what? Let's just call it the supercar.
Yeah, it is a supercar. So now we're with Mark Wahlberg. He's getting ready for a job interview. He's wearing a very nice suit.
Isn't some I guess he wants to be the host at some bougie restaurant.
The Matron D.
Maitre D.
Matron D. He's from Boston. He's a Matron D. Okay.
It's just so. See, that'd have been a perfect time to put the burger spot in there.
Hey, you went to the burger spot too quick.
I mean,
welcome to Wahlburger. I got your book.
Whoa, dude, where are you from? You can't work here.
Come on, forget about it.
You're scaring the kids. No one knows what you're saying.
These motherfuckers.
All right, well, you got the customer service down.
But, yeah, he goes in, and the actor that was interviewing him, I hate that guy.
Yeah.
I've never seen him play a guy I didn't want to physically strike.
Real character actor.
Very much so, but the character is punch in the face. Just like, I saw him, and I was like, not this motherfucker. I want to strike him.
Yeah, real dildo machine.
Oh, super dildo. Like, he's pumping him out. Like, just... You're just like, son of a dildo machine.
No, it's the one that just...
he's really popping them in. Still works.
Yeah, he just really kind of discriminated for having mental health issues.
Yeah, I was like,
is this an HR? Can you sue?
What a weird PSA for mental health all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg at a job interview get discriminated against. I was just like your family with black people, huh, Mark?
Oh, come on, dude.
Hey, I mean, he wants to talk about mental health. I want to talk about racism in America. I'm just saying.
At a burger place?
Yeah, at a fucking very nice restaurant in New York that may or may not serve burgers.
I didn't hear about that juicy tidbit of his...
It's all over.
TMZ.
That's because he doesn't like you to know, Kevin.
I know.
He bullshit apologized for it during the Me Too movement, and then that was it.
Well... I don't keep
He's
up.
Got a spotty past.
I mean, I don't
just like the character he plays in Infinite.
Infinite.
I said infinite. Infantile.
So what I was thinking is the guy knew about his history, saying, "Oh, it looks like you've had some mental history. It looks like you got in a fight with a customer." I was like, "Why are you interviewing this guy? Did you just want to interview him to embarrass him? Did he piss in your cornflakes? Why would you even set this up, have your head chef or sous chef or whoever's sitting there staring at him going, are you ready to expedite?
I'm embarrassed to be here too.
Yeah, I was like, what does this even do? Did you just want to be a dick at 9:30 in the morning?
It's cheap exposition. That's it.
Dude, that's it. You could have just taken him, just popping pills and playing a phone message on his phone going, hey, I forget his name. Is it Henrik? Is his name in this?
Well, no. Henrik's is past. I don't know. To address the name thing, it seems that at some point they got a good name and they just kept that regardless of when they reincarnated.
We're just going to call him Henrik.
They call him Treadway.
Okay, Treadway.
Yeah.
So Treadway's sitting there and is like, I would have got rid of this whole scene. You didn't need dildo machine grilling him. You could have just had some phone messages of saying, hey, you know what? You got to make sure you stay on your meds. You know how you get. Because he's already narrated the movie.
I want you to break some... Oh, yeah. He's already got the part where he starts narrating.
He's already done...
He sounds nothing like himself.
Yeah, he always does this narration exposition that kind of doesn't really introduce the world. He's just real vague about the rules of what we're about to experience. Of like, hey, have you ever farted twice in a hallway and thought it was a glitch in the Matrix?
But upon second whiff, you were just born again.
You're just like, what? What?
Huh.
He's like, have you ever walked across a stranger, looked him in the eye, going, I fucked him in the butt 2 lifetimes ago? You're like, yeah, maybe. But
And they just puckered a little bit harder. Like, oh.
You both felt a pucker in the Matrix.
Oh. It was forceful.
It was just like, okay, like, so he's just being kind of really vague. So you as the audience member is like, oh, tell me more. But then you're more like, yeah, you go and hold on to that. Just why don't you just miss me with all this?
Yeah, instead we get this, like, him just insulting him, Mark Wahlberg being like, I have mental health issues.
Yeah, and I was like, well, dude.
Don't discriminate against me.
And I forgot what the meds he needs to kind of, keep his chill.
I don't know.
I assume they silenced the voices in his head or the memories. Because basically what the movie...
it doesn't seem like they do.
I thought they were just smarties. And he was like, these aren't working.
These aren't working. I gotta stop making swords for drug dealers. Because that's where we're going with this, by the way.
Jeez. So, like, in the movie, the whole gimmick is like, they can live forever through reincarnation. And each time they're reincarnated, they remember their previous lives and all the skills and talents. So Mark Wahlberg, Henrik Highway... Treadway is like, hey guys, you ever like scratch your balls and it felt natural? Maybe you did that in a past life. You were a master nut scratcher. And you remember that talent.
He's like, well, I'm a master nut scratcher 5,000, so...
I'm such a master.
I'm kind of like, I've destroyed the pro circuit so many times.
I put a number on my name.
I mean, these motherfuckers have basically figured out I'm reincarnated the way I fucking scratch the nut.
He's like, you ever been real good something like playing the piano or dancing for being a private dancer, and you're like, why am I so naturally good at it? It's because you did it in a life before, and now you're reincarnated. And guess what? That talent stacks in your skill tree. So
yeah, I mean, your muscle memory and everything seems like
it's all there. When you go to your balls wearing like 5 layers of pants, and you can just go through all the material and get that nut and go scratch,
bob
scratch.
And weave like a fucking dolphin cutting through the ocean, and just like, there you are, ball sack
scratched. Yeah. And you're just like, okay, interesting premise.
Very interesting premise. Yeah.
So, Battle Angel, my brain went into a little blend of Highlander and a little blend of, like Battle Angel Aliyah. I read the manga, as the kids call it. And there's a dude later on in the adventures, because typical anime manga, you just got to keep one-upping these bosses to bring more challenge. Yeah. Next week, maybe someone gets in a fight and their shirt comes off and their power is like times 10 when the shirt's off. So...
Free to find out more.
You're like, will he beat him?
Well, you only gave me 10 pages this week, so I guess I will.
And this always stuck with me because I thought it was a super cool gimmick. This guy, he could touch any item and kind of feel the history of the item. So, like, if Musashi created this sword, this katana, and he trained with it, killed with it, and he was like the epic sword master, you would be like, you picked it up and you just downloaded Musashi. You're fucking moving, you're cutting, you're not, and everybody's like, yo, I can't beat you. You take a gun by Billy the Kid or something, you're just like, you're just doing that.
Oh, I got shot in the back just like the kid. Oh, fucking coward.
But you wore a vest because you knew it was coming.
It did, but it still hurt, you son of a bitch.
Shit like that. Like, you touch Rambo's knife, you're opening up dudes like Rambo.
Oh, I know every tree to jump down from.
Yeah, he's a fictional character. But I always thought that was cool, and it kind of reminded me of this, that you get that your skill level stacks each time you respawn, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, all right, this is very video game-ish, very, one up, very, very comics light sci-fi.
Yeah.
Maybe full sci-fi, full bore sci-fi.
I'd say this is full sci-fi.
Real Percy Jackson bullshit kind of going.
Oh, it's definitely family-friendly sci-fi,
Yeah, and a lot of stuff, they just do it for sci-fi's sake, and you're like, I don't understand why you chose to do these things. Was this because of sci-fi?
Have you heard of sci-fi? Not the channel, but like sci-fi.
Tell me more.
Well, we like it here, but just a little bit, just enough to get your feet wet, and then we're good.
The movie comes off like a adaptation of a teen novel.
Yeah, it's very YA.
Yeah.
To like the next level.
Like Kyle XY?
No.
We had no belly button.
We got belly buttons, yeah. We're not no test tube babies.
But I think Mark Wahlberg should be banned from sci-fi movies moving forward.
Oh, for sure. And
maybe
narrating.
cinema altogether.
Yeah.
I've never been a big Marky Mark guy. I know everyone like...
They love the Ted.
In The Departed, wasn't that a movie?
He didn't even have a big role in The Departed. And he sucked. All he did is just yell. He was just like, fuck you, Matt Damon! And Leonardo DiCaprio, I am not a good actor.
Well, maybe I'm not mad at him now for telling those guys to fuck off.
I mean, they were better actors than him. That's for damn sure.
Come on.
Yeah.
But they don't have their own J, so still number one in my book. I flip-flopped on him so hard.
Jesus.
So that's like the gimmick, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, you have these two factions that are experiencing this gimmick.
The Nihilists and the Believers.
Real cornball names.
Real generic bullshit.
And the bad guy wants to destroy the... Because he's just tired of... he's tired of respawning. He's like...
He is. He's just like...
I'm good.
And his whole... and I'm just going to spoil it right now, Kevin. He later tells us the reason why is because the minute his mind is grown in the womb, he gets everything back instantly. And so he's tired. Because then he has to sit there and like be a baby, and he can't do anything, and he's basically gone insane because he gets his back instantly, whereas everyone else gets theirs at puberty, which, as we established in the timeline, 1985, 50-year-old Mark Wahlberg, there's not enough years there.
Story ain't checking out, hombre.
Yeah, it's not checking out. It's not checking out at all.
So like, and that's the problem with the movie. That should be a character device, right?
Yeah.
Like, so he wants to blow up the whole world because he has one problem. Just off yourself.
Well, interesting that you would say that, because the first question I think everyone has when watching the movie is, why doesn't he just download himself so he just doesn't have to reincarnate, you know?
Yeah.
And then you don't even know that you're in a loop. You're just doing what you already did anyway. The thing you already hated, you're just doing it, but at least you're not bothering anyone.
Because he has a super weapon. It's like a shotgun / grenade launcher.
Dethroner. Thank you very much. It's the only thing that had a somewhat cool name.
Yeah, but then they make fun of the name.
They do. Yeah.
Instantly.
They make fun of everything.
They do, actually.
I have... I'm just going to go into it. I have a major problem with the names, okay? Later on, we meet a character called the Artisan, all right?
The sandwich, or...
I wish. He had about as much fucking...
culture.
Charisma on the screen as a sandwich. And it just kind of bothered me that it's like... Okay, we have these reincarnations, but they're just picking the name they like the best to keep carrying over. And so the Treadway, he was just like, oh, I like that. I'll keep that shit. And they really should have just stolen from Doctor Who, because that's what I felt like they were doing with like the Artisan.
Mm.
It stood for his kind of overall personality that always come through.
Almost like his character, like, stereotype in a way.
Exactly. Like Nora and the Able guy, they should have been like the lovers or some shit. Mm-hmm. And then she's always, you know, I don't know, trying to like lean onto, you know, this, like she's really discombobulated because she's not used to not having her fucking other half there with her or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like Treadway, I don't know, maybe call him The Way or something because he's trying to lead everyone to the future or some shit. You know, it's just something like that that gives them more of identity, because that's like, in Doctor Who, just to go to Doctor Who, because I like that's why I feel like they were kind of pseudo stealing that shit from. He's called the Doctor because he's there to help people like a doctor does, and that's kind of the gimmick of his name. That's why he doesn't have a real name. It's just the Doctor. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what they were...
Is it Doctor Who because you don't know who could be at your door?
Save that for the Who cast, okay?
For the Who heads?
For the Who heads, yeah. He's over. I can't say shoehead, but he could call it Who heads over here.
That's literally what they're called.
They're called Whovians. Thank you very much. They're not called Who heads.
Who slept on Who heads? That's the way better title.
The Whovians. I don't know. It's the Brits, man. They named themselves that shit.
What? Who heads was right in front of you.
They were like, we're not calling ourselves Who heads. That sounds stupid. That's like an owl going Who head. Who head.
That's great.
Anyway, I feel like that was a really big missed opportunity that they kind of just half-ass introduced at the end. Like, bathwater should have been called, like, I don't know, like, they're like, we call him the Destroyer now, but he used to be this or
Dude,
something.
he should be like the fucking Reaper because he's chasing them throughout all these incarnations, trying to eliminate them because I guess they're always fighting for the egg? I don't really know what their big beef was, why they had beef.
No, he switched to the Nihilist side, trying to end the reincarnation. And so they were used to be best friends. They used to be on the same side of the believers.
Oh, that's right. Back in the...
quote-unquote, lost faith.
Yeah.
So my other problem is the reincarnation.
But what were they believing in? There was no hierarchy.
That they were shepherding humanity into a brighter tomorrow.
But they never did anything. They just fought each other.
No, they did not. Yeah. No, both sides are really kind of
like, if you would have told me, like, showed me, like, moments in history where they were trying to change the course of man, I would have been like, okay.
Oh, you show past lives in a reincarnation movie.
Not just weird jump cuts of just...
Yeah.
Some like Mayan type fight scenes and then just over.
I'll save it, but I have another huge issue with the reincarnation. But
yeah,
But anyway, so Marky Mark's making a sword.
Dude, like, where is he making it? Like, where do you in New York? You just go do a forge.
Exactly. Why is he looking for a job at a maitre d' when he could just be fucking selling swords online? You stupid shithead. Guess which one of these pay way more?
Because he was doing it like the old samurai style, and and when he mentioned the folds in the metal, I was like, oh wow, someone knows what they're talking about here.
Someone did a quick Google search.
Yeah, and I was like, well, okay.
Someone watched Kill Bill and went, oh, I'll steal that my sci-fi movie.
Someone's watching Master Forge on Netflix.
Ooh, someone watched season 2. They're all caught up. Make a He-Man sword.
Marky Mark, can your sword go through this pig carcass in one swing?
He's like, oh, let's find out. I mean, a pig carcass is made out of 100% pig. I seem to know percentages of things that are made, so...
It could cut through this junkie hooker's foot in 2 seconds. Wait, whoa, what?
Oh, man. So, yeah, he takes said sword to his drug dealer to get more meds to keep the voices away, because he's down to his last 2 or some shit. And,
why is there always, like...
a cracked out white guy leading a group of people? I don't know, man.
It was just real stereotypical. You've seen this in every single movie ever made.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that guy play that guy
like,
before.
even, like, Babe Pig in the City, this scene's in there.
Babe Pig in the City. Oh, there's the tattooed-faced white guy drug dealer.
And he picks up the pig.
He's real jealous when a woman looks at another man. I was like, is Mark Wahlberg really doing anything that's, like, oozing... sexual, like...
Yeah, it wasn't like he was going, hey, baby, blah, 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 blah. That's his tongue going out, flipping her...
Like, he's literally like, hey, I got, like, a freak mind, and I'm here for drugs. I'm pretty sure she was like, yeah, I'd like to fuck that guy. I'd like to fuck John Cena. Whoa, where'd he go?
I can't see him.
Who's this old man here?
I can't see John Cena.
Who let Mark Wahlberg into this movie?
Boo! And here come the boo birds. You know what another thing is? So they were doing all these great, cool things. Like, what if you're reincarnated and you just, like, beat your meat? Like,
I was like, Bathar, you're looking at this all wrong, man. Just, like, take a life off, dude. Like, you don't need to use any of this shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I don't know, become a serial killer. Do something different.
Like, spice up your life, every boy and every girl.
That's what the artisan was doing.
And that's what I was thinking. I was like...
Except for he didn't do anything. But,
he didn't do anything, but maybe want to, like, kind of stray bullet take him out of the game, please.
Yeah, I was like, weirdest character to keep going.
Well,
you have the big fucking Russian-y axe guy, and we trade...
Oh, no, the Celtic dude?
Yeah, and we have the cool Japanese chick, and then we keep the artisan.
Yeah, they didn't keep him on the base because he's a weirdo.
He was too busy... I don't know what he was.
I don't know.
You know, we're jumping way ahead. Mostly because his part of the movie jars this story so far. You're just
it's
like,
literally the destruction of the third act.
Yeah.
My thing was, so you happen to be all these talents and skills, but what if you just kept getting reincarnated and you're just a regular dude and you kind of suck? And you're
He's like, I am learning nothing. But my God, I can beat my meat in like 2 strokes easy.
Dude, he's like, they call me BOLGNA. They're like, baloney? You want to see it? No.
Too bad, it's already out, and I popped one in your earlobe. Oh, what the fuck?
And he's on the team. What are you going to do? You can't kill him because he's just going to respawn as another meat beater because that's all he's good at.
He's like, I love puberty.
But
The mid-stroke when I just fucking find myself, I'm just like, damn, I'm back, son.
It's
boom, like a
like
shotgun through mom's wedding dress. They're like, what the fuck?
It's like playing a fiddle, man. They broke my hands a couple of lives ago. I figured it out with my feet. I'm like a monkey.
Just like, I don't like the fiddler guy. I thought we were calling him Meat Beat Manifesto. No, it's too long. He's the fiddler.
With the fiddler, I just reported him for, being a weird dude around kids. Well, you should have.
He's on every fucking watch list I could get him on, like, instantly.
And unfortunately, if Infinite is on your watch list, you should cut it out.
You should have already given up on this movie, because we're not even talking about the fucking movie. Anyway, so Mark Wahlberg.
Like, sir,
Treadway. I'm going to call him pre-Treadway, because he's not Treadway yet.
They just call him Treadway. You're going to confuse everyone.
Well, he's not Treadway yet. He's pre-Treadway.
He's always Treadway.
He's not. The first Treadway could act. This Treadway is Mark Wahlberg. Who looks like John Cena, who stumbled in.
What do I got to do to get my shirt off in this scene?
Yeah, seriously. So they're doing this freak brain thing with him. They're like, "What's the capital of this one place?" And he's just like, "It's not pronounced that, you stupid druggies,
you stupid drug dealer,
drug scum." And I don't know why they just keep asking him questions, and he keeps standing there nervously. And then the white drug dealer guy is just like, "Look at me, junkie whore."
So junkie whore is amazed that Marky Mark knows, like.
Yeah, they're literally like, put on a show for his freak, and she's like, I'm looking at the show, and he's just like, how dare you? You wanna I fuck John Cena, don't you? And she's just like, what? Well, I'm a bit high. Well, I don't even know this. I'm a junkie whore.
Marky Mark, like, just basically, hey Google, he can. He's like Rain Man. He can see a bunch of Smarties in a bag and touch them and be like, "Oh, there's only 54 here.
50 pills. You promised me 60 bags."
I was like, "Oh, someone's got an addiction."
Yeah, and he was just like, "Your boy can't count." Like, he's so concerned about the amount of pills he's getting, and that this woman might get her arm chopped off.
After he gave him the sharpest sword on the planet, and then the junkie ringleader's like, "Show me your arm. You're looking at John Cena too much. I'm going to cut it off." And then Marky Mark just cares.
He's like, I didn't make that murder weapon to murder. And I certainly didn't mean to trust it to a drug dealer.
So
What was he giving him previously?
What do you mean?
How was he paying him for the crazy pills?
I don't know.
How many swords did that man need? Did he try all of them?
Maybe he was making.
Was this like the 10th junkie whore that he saw about to lose their arm? And he was just like, "That's it. After 9, I said no more." Okay, I don't even know where you keep getting them.
Maybe
you'd think they'd just have a support crew by now.
Cutlery?
One-armed junkie whores that had their arm lopped off by my swords.
Maybe he did some cutlery, and he was like, "Hey man, I did you a full dining set."
He's like, "This is fucking French 1700s, okay?
Don't ask me how I know this engraving is here."
He just uses it, comb his hair. He's like, "I love the Little Mermaid," and they're just like, God, I fucking hate Jared Leto. That's who he looked like. Jared Leto, Panic Room. Think about it.
Oh, he had braids.
This guy did too, Kevin.
No, he didn't. I thought his hair was just slicked back.
No.
The shaved sides.
It was braided.
Doesn't matter. He's not in the movie. We're talking for him longer than he's in the fucking movie.
We won't talk about this fucking movie. So he cares. He tells the woman to get out. He chops off the one guy's fingers.
It is a small action scene. The guy that has a pistol on him gets his fingers chopped off, and he goes, "You chopped off my fingers." I was like, "Yeah, sword works." He throws the sword. He runs. He's off, and then he
has a past life catch up to him. He's in the mountains. He thinks about falling. So he does, through a car, and then the police are just there because they heard gunshots at the local drug dealer's apartment.
Oh, he took the sword back.
He did, yeah, he took it away.
Yeah.
And so they're just like, "Freeze, we know you're buying drugs!" No one arrests the drug dealer guy.
Are you hurt?
But Marky Mark, falling through a car with a sword, they're just like, "Bring him in."
These New York guys with their swords, man, book them.
Fucking Boston assholes coming here.
Meanwhile, like, the super satellites from the super organizations just watching this all unfold, and they're all being real snarky to each other because it looks like we found fucking Treadway, and he's Marky Mark this time.
We found him. Some fucking maitre d' from New York made a sword. It's gotta be him.
You know how he left swords.
You know
and drugs.
We all reincarnated in Japan at one point, remember? We totally did.
Remember JP?
Yeah, so now the longest scene, which I will say is the scene that made me even give this movie a shot. I saw it in the trailer. It's much shorter in the trailer. And then the end result is they drive a bunch of cars to a police station, which I was kind of like, if you hadn't started with that other car chase scene, this would be pretty cool. But you did start with that other car chase scene, so I'm kind of like, oh, we're back to cars already?
I didn't
Fuck
understand.
you.
It's like we have all these talents and powers, and all we do is drive cars through things.
Yeah.
I was like, well, you don't, I mean, I guess they really don't have powers, but they have all this life, these centuries of training, and
one of those talents is driving.
Through walls?
Very well. They've done it a lot.
Yeah, so Bathwater meets with Treadway, and he's like, do you remember this sling from the good old days? What about this pistol? He's like, how'd you sneak all this in here?
This room's soundproof. Why am I in here?
So
the capital of Beirut is Beirut, I think. I don't know. Google let me down on that one.
Treadway's like real confused what's going on.
Yeah.
And Bathwater's in there just overacting. He's just in the wrong movie.
Yeah, he's like, I'm surprised you don't know me. He's like, how fucking dare you? You're like 50. How do you not know me?
And it could have just been the perfect time. Instead of holding all these items, he should have just been like, do you know what it's like to know who you are from the jump?
Yeah, he could have explained his motivation.
Yeah, he should this would have been
You could have started the movie here, to be quite honest, and that would have been a more interesting
You could have gave me a montage of just Marky Mark trying to get a job and fumbling and just can't get on his feet, and he gets picked up because he had to put his fist through a vending machine to get some hot Cheetos so he wouldn't die. And I'd be like, wow, man, this guy's really on hard times.
We found Treadway. He loves hot Cheetos.
Well, duh. Does he spray a little lemon on there?
Motherfucker invented them fucking 2 centuries before they were made. He really is ushering humanity into a new era.
Yeah, that would have been a perfect time to do that. Then go to and he was like, it's so hard to find you every time. Even like, oh shit, these guys got history. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. This Cheeto dust got me fucked up. And he's like, you do have your vices. You know what? It's something like that. Yeah. He's like, the Cheetos keep the voices low. And he's like, are it voices like this? And he just gives him a time. He's like, 1742. Just gives him a date, and he starts rambling off, and he just maybe throws down the gun or something. Whatever. And I've been like, oh, now you're introducing it. He's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. But he looks at the items like, I think I might know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That would have
that would have required acting from
right
from John Cena, and he was just like, I'm wiped out.
But it would have been a nice build to the story in it. Because as the viewer, you're gonna be like, oh shit, like, do these guys got beef? These guys got history? And then he can be like, I chase you every time because you have what I want. You have the means to stopping this because this is fucking hell for me. And while you guys are living in some goddamn ski resort mountain lodge super base from Ex Machina the movie, I'm fucking running around with fucking this Russian bitch and I'm sick of it.
I am in a cathedral getting waterboarded with gasoline, hoping every day I don't wake up again. Show me your face, God!
It would have been cool if he just been like, he goes, you guys get reincarnated, but when it happens to me, I feel the pain and the hurt every single time. Yeah.
And do you know what it's like to grow your own heart? Like, just anything.
Crazy shit. And he would have been like...
graphic in detail.
And every time he gets more graphic about what he's going through, then fucking Treadmill should just be like, yeah, oh shit, it's slowly coming back to me. Like, you're jarring it with this hardcore pain that he's delivering it.
Yeah.
So you're like, I feel for the bad guy. He might be right. I'd want to stop this too. But he's going to do more than stop it. He's going to stop everything. So the bad guys are like way out of control. Yeah. And then Treadway and the team could be like, yo, he's got to be stopped. But we kind of have to put him down forever.
Let's try the Highlander way.
Yeah.
We'll cut his head off.
But instead the movie's just, it's a fucking, hey, do you remember this?
Instead a car drives through a wall.
A car drives through a wall.
And Bathwater hides behind a table.
And he's fine.
He's perfect. Like, she shoots a couple times, and he's just he ninjas into a truck.
She shoots, and I'm like, what are you shooting at?
Yeah, I was like,
no one is fucking... What is she...
He left.
And she was so uncomfortable and awkward holding that gun.
She was uncomfortable and awkward throughout the whole entire movie. I was like, why were you cast in this? Because your acting abilities, even next to Marky Mark, are sub-fucking par. Like,
Everybody's
it's embarrassing every time you talk.
Everybody is terrible in this movie, except for maybe Bathwater. But he's two on another.
He's fantastic. He's great. He's
on
miscast.
He's almost on 15. They're on like 2.
Yeah, they needed
someone that could match him.
Yeah, they need someone of his caliber.
I wouldn't say match him, but basically be able to play off him and be receptive to him, because he needs to be the tormented soul, right? Mm-hmm. To kind of cause...
So you need a sympathetic soul.
Right.
To play off
where
of
he
him.
feels for him, but he knows, like, hey, man, we were friends at one time, but you've gone too far, and I do remember that. But as being your friend for incarnation after incarnation, I want to fix it. So I'm going to put you down like you've put all these other, all my brethren down in the past. And he's like, yeah, I fucking dare you, because I'm taking you all out with the Big Bang. Whatever, the egg. But they don't. They go into a fucking Aston Martin. They whip it around. There's more chase scenes.
They drive perfectly through the Aston Martin does don't hurt anyone.
It's super stupid. The Aston Martin flips the fucking... The console seeps into the wheel seeps into the console, and it pops out on his side for no fucking reason. And
Mark Wahlberg decides he's going to make a snarky comment. Oh, just the average steering wheel switch over? Okay.
And that's the thing about the super sucks about this movie. Everyone's in it for a laugh. Everyone's hyper sarcastic towards these possibly cool sci-fi things that are happening for the viewer. Everything's just a laugh. And you're like, well, am I supposed to be involved? Or am I supposed to be taken back by these cool action? Or these cool sci-fi? Or this tech? Or whatever I'm seeing? But everyone's just so snarky, like, LOL, fart, fart face, smell, smell, smell. Who cares? Like, no one cares except for Bathwater.
Yeah. And he cares too much. So, yeah, they do this. They do another car chase scene outside, and then...
Just loses them because he's driving... Bathwater's driving like the fucking truck in Call of Duty Warzone that...
Yeah, he's massive. Like, get on!
It's massive and slow, and they had to take it out of the game because people were glitching it.
And then she destroys all the city's plumbing in like a 3-block radius to get away, and I was like, you motherfucker. Do you know how long that's going to take to fix?
So many, like...
They are phoning that in. So many people are fucked without water right now. How dare you?
Go watch the James Bond where they flip that car 1,000 times, and then go watch Ronin. Those are like the best 2 uses of a car action scenes that I've seen almost probably put to film.
What about Who Am I?
I mean, that's pretty good, but like...
Who Am I has great practical stunt driving.
Yes, that does. But I think... The only part I did kind of LOL in the beginning is when Henrik rolls over those bricks and he does he does a burnout over the bricks and it launches towards it. That was so waka, and I was like,
it was so dumb.
It made me laugh.
There was loose bricks there, asshole.
But I thought this was going to be like a super fun action movie like that, where it was just maybe a little over the top because it had.
I can feel the universe.
It wanted it to me. It felt like it wanted to be like the Kingsman.
Yeah.
In that kind of like we're over the top, but then it just stopped and got real boring and terrible.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that brick scene, I went, "Uh-oh, what are you doing, movie?"
No, I was interested. I was like,
I wasn't. I was like, no.
I was like, all right, let's have some fun. And they were like, we're done. We're done.
This is all the fun you get.
Like when he's jumping off the bridge, the car does the like 360 off the side. I really had big Kingsman vibes going on.
Yeah. Maybe it's the same cinematographer.
But whatever, we're at a hangar. The fucking Aston Martin's there. There's a private jet. Tons of exposition between fucking Treadway and the chick.
And the whole time he's just like, fuck your stupid little clique and your dumb shit. I don't believe you.
Fuck your whole thesis.
Fuck everything. Fuck that. Fuck you.
He's like, other than me not having a job and being crazy, everything's pretty good. And she's like, hey man, did you ever smell bumblebee tuna and go, God, I love cat food? Well, guess what? This is why. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. You ever try to hold a fart in on an elevator and you shat your pants? This is why. He was like, do you know me?
God damn it, how did you know about that?
I do love bumblebee tuna.
You remember the fucking Himalayas and we were... God, I don't even know why we were there, but, we were there. And I fell and you saved me.
And the movie's like, I'll show you. And I was like,
for just
why?
Like a split fucking second.
They go to it like
Bad
5 times.
CG. Yeah, the same thing over and over. Bad CG. And so the point of this is, then he goes, well, I don't have a cat to feed at home, so I guess I'll go with you. And I was like, what was the point of all that dialogue?
Way to twist his arm.
Yeah, I was like, just shut up and get on the fucking plane, asshole.
I would have died if it cut to his apartment. There's like 3 cat skeletons.
He's just like, I didn't have the money to feed them.
Is that automatic cat feeder just bone dry?
Still has working batteries, though. Yeah, and this becomes the staple of his character. I'm going to shit on it, and then I'm just going to go ahead and go with you.
Oh, he's all in. He's all in as he shits on it. He's like, what do you guys got, like, HBO Max here? Everybody's like, no, dude.
Like, boo, you can't plug that. He's just like, but I do so much business with him. You remember Entourage? I won't let you forget it. Yeah, it's, yeah, so then we're just in this hidden goddamn temple in the most beautiful part of the fucking world.
Dude, it's so out of...
Landing our X-Men Blackbird.
Yeah.
Indiscreetly in our hangar. And 50 fucking infinites that will never turn around and face the camera.
There was so many people there that just get smoked later on.
Yeah.
It was
well, only like 2 of them.
It felt like it was super crowded, and then it felt like there was no one on the set at all.
No, there's like 3 people fighting. We meet... I don't even think they actually ever said her name until she died, and I don't remember her name.
Like Labyrinth or like little...
It was not as cool as Labyrinth. That would have been way cool.
Little Lulu.
Little Lulu. Little Lulu shouting orders at people. She's fucking laying them down on the floor. She's like, bathwater won't fucking go easy on you, you motherfucking idiots.
Yeah, they're training for like the Infinite Wars and shit.
With bow staffs. Meanwhile, this guy's got a gun called a Dethroner.
Yeah. Hey, you're hitting it with
the bow staff is going to cut it. Sorry, Donatello. I love you, but I just like...
You're out of your depth.
Yeah. He's just like, ooh, hey, I'm going to sit this one out, guys.
And that's the thing. It was typical, like, superhero good guy base where I'm just like, you guys...
It's a circle stick fight.
And it was
Did you see Pacific Rim? We stole that.
I did, and I hated it. Fuck you, movie.
I saw that, I was just like, why are we doing the Pacific Rim right now? Let's just leave that to the left.
Unless you're talking about the adult film version, Pacific Rim Job.
I am not.
That's worth a view.
The acting is incredible. So are the rim jobs.
5 out of 5 would recommend.
So Marky Mark just stands there at the front of the door. They all take a shitty bow to him. And he's just like, why are they bowing to me? And they're just like, 'cause you're Treadway.
He's like, cool.
And then he just stands there and he's just like, alright, I gotta go, I guess. And then they bring him to what was his room, because apparently he's just been updating this base. Except for his room got modernized from 1985. And he's just like, what is this, Treadway's room or something? They're like, you are remembering. He was like, no, I just figured that's where you'd take me to. And I was like, yeah, you fucking figured right. You guys are a fucking one-trick dumbass pony.
Because over the bed it says Treadway's place.
Treadway. I mean, look at it. It's like a little kid's race car bed. And last life, you told me I was driving a Ferrari. Boop, 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 boop. Makes sense. Checks out. There's the bed.
Where's the egg? I don't know.
What the fuck's in? What's cooking? What's cooking? Good looking. Where's the egg? I don't fucking know.
Pay $1.95 more. I'll put an egg on your burger.
You know what really pissed me off later on? Bathwater was eating an egg. He's about to.
God, that was so.
And that egg survived until the explosion, Kevin. I was like, what the fuck?
Survived a sniper assault.
I was like, why don't you eat that egg?
I was waiting for him just to throw
we waste food as evidence, huh?
I was waiting for him to throw it off someone's head, and it cracks and it's running. He was like, wasn't hard boiled.
Do it again! Yeah. I did not live 1,000 years to fucking eat running eggs.
Yeah, man. Like,
wouldn't he be a vegan? Let's be honest.
What do you
he have the fucking most?
Wouldn't he just do whatever he wanted? Because even if he
fucking
tapped
way.
out, he has another round at it.
He's like, I'm the glutton now.
Yeah,
like, oh my God.
that'd have been cool if there was one.
Water. Yes, dude, wouldn't there be?
There would have like. Here's the other thing: is there's like no bad guys established other than bathwater. Like if he would have had the blonde should have been way more introduced.
She should have done anything. She shot like a couple arrows, I think, one time. No,
I think she
sniped. I didn't want to talk about that yet because when she sniped, I was like,
"You're fired."
This doesn't make any sense.
And that's the thing. Like everyone's supposed to be massively high level super soldiers in the sense they've had timeless training, right? Yeah. So, and that's the thing, you never really see them they're not hyper proficient at these superhuman levels. They're just kind of all dorks and geeks. Yeah. And they get beat on their first fights, and you're just like...
all of them, every single one of them.
I'm like, well, you guys are training with bow staffs? You guys should be perfect killers. Yeah. You should be perfect. Like this, like I see, like, oh, what's this guy? Oh, this is his second reincarnation. He can't even keep the poop in his pants. I'm like, all right, I understand that. But you're telling me you guys have been doing this since, like... the fucking earth cracked, you know what I mean? Since we climbed out of the fucking...
we see, like, caveman shit.
Yeah, they're like fucking...
they take him to, like, the Xavier pit.
Yeah, the danger room.
Yeah. And then we see... and he sees a guy, and he's like, that's bathwater! And I'm like, how did you recognize him from a billion reincarnations and none of them looked like him?
Yeah, it's
like,
so dumb.
I'm supposed to believe you're remembering or something?
It would have been so cool if they had like a glutton guy that was a bad guy, and every life he just gets all fat because he just like, I want to live every life to the fullest. Yeah. And he just has like all these concubines and stuff. He just constantly just gorges himself. He's like the Orange Lantern. He's like, mine, it's all mine. Every time I die, you take it from me and I want it back. I'm like, great, that's his motivation. That's all I needed to see. And then he's like, yeah, man, we got to put you down every time because you're a sick son of a bitch. And he's like, I dare you. And he's just like the Blob. And he just, like, not comically, but he's just a big dude, just starts tanking them all. I'm like, wow, this is a cool fight. And then you kind of level up, and then you fight Bathwater. But you don't fight Bathwater because he has the Dethroner. And he was like, I can't beat you, but I can lock you away. He calls it downloading. He hits him with like this
He puts them on a computer chip where they loop through their life or something over and over.
But the computer looks like a tackle box.
Yeah, it's just a green box. But then he puts their name on it, but he just, I guess, puts his favorite name that they had on it.
It was super stupid.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
But anyway, so... this part kind of just... he gets the Professor X chick gives him like the nickel tour. And everyone's just like, oh, you're back. He's back. Does he remember yet?
Where's the egg? Does he remember the egg? Have we talked about the egg enough? Has anyone said
literally,
egg?
The next 30 minutes of the movie, that's all it is.
Egg. And then we see the guy who played, I don't know, some shitty Marvel character from the fucking...
the Celtic guy?
No. The guy that helped them find him in the sword. He's in Captain America 1 and 2. And he was basically... I think he becomes MODOK later on, but they were like, nah, we're not doing that.
You're not ready.
Yeah. And then he's sitting there in this very open room, and then Bathwater calls him, and he's just like, oh no, not Bathwater. And then Bathwater just starts shooting arrows to this guy, and he puts an emergency button labeled emergency as high as he can on his bookshelf.
And it just says that was easy, and he hits it.
Yeah.
He's like, no,
Bathwater just shoots a bunch of arrows through his hands, pins him. And then the stupid Russian chick is just like, we have easier ways to do this. And Bathwater's like, easier doesn't always mean better.
Or newer ways to do this.
Oh, yeah, newer ways. He's like, newer doesn't mean better. And I was just like, you should die. You suck.
Yeah, they just take him there like, you remember this honey you're all about? Won't you eat the honey now? He's like, you don't get it, do you?
They waterboard him with honey. And he's just
that would fuck you up, though.
Yeah, he talks after that. He's just perfectly fine. I was like, nah, dude, you're choking on fucking honey. Like, nah. You're dead.
Dude, I'm really into this hot honey now. Yeah, have you had the hot honey where they put
from Mod Pizza? It's delicious.
I have some here I bought on my own, and
no, it's great.
Try not to put it on every pizza you get a hold of.
I can't because I do. I love it on every pizza I get a hold of.
There's these little Trader Joe's like pretzel sticks. I would just dip it
Yeah, no, that hot honey's addictive. Like,
dude, I almost killed the whole bottle.
Have a bite without it, you're just like, is pizza good anymore? I don't know. I don't think it is because it doesn't have hot honey on every fucking
Dude, that was me. I'd be like,
I'm a glutton for hot honey.
He just pours hot honey in my mouth. I'm like, give me some pizza.
Oh, where's the pizza?
This is not having the effect we desired.
This is weird. This guy's got some kinks, and I think we're now a part of it. Like,
don't look at me. Okay, great. He removed us.
Oh, where'd the meat meter come from? He's like, oh, he got me in the eye again. The son of a gun.
I'm always here. Mr. Baloney's in the hizzy. Was that my favorite name?
He's like, yes, I have it on your fucking box. Baloney beater. He's like, no, it's either the baloney or the masturbator. You can't have both. He's like, son of a gun, this guy. But anyway, yeah, so he just threatens this guy.
Doesn't he? Because he thinks he knows where Treadway is with the egg, right?
Yeah, he's like, tell me where they are.
And he's like, they're the same place they are every lifetime.
Yeah.
You geek.
He's like, how can I tell you? And so then he shoots him with the dethroner before getting the information. But then still has the information.
Well, I thought...
Oh, no, they're gonna crack his files. I'm like, why do you have a file for this?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you just know?
Shouldn't this be very, like, low-key?
Or are they hacking the file of his downloaded brain?
That's what I thought.
That would be cool, but that's not what they really explained.
Because you could have the glutton guy, and you could have what was it from Venture Brothers? Like Billy Wizkid?
Yeah, Billy Wizkid.
Yeah, and he had
Quiz Kid.
Yeah. He has just a big head. He's like every lifetime I get more knowledge. You know what I mean? Because Treadway has already shown that he has knowledge. So all these times over, there should be a dude obsessed with it. That would have been way more interesting. Is all these reincarnations?
They should have all had a lot of knowledge.
They should have all had a lot of knowledge.
Apparently, they're all just fucking doing drugs and having
no,
orgies.
It's like, because it's still a lot of the personality traits they're bringing over, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they should bring all their problems with them. And he's like, every time I'm reincarnated, I want more knowledge because I take what I already have and I build upon it. So he should have been super obsessed with it. You just go into his room and there's just books from all over, all these different languages. He just has like he's running like 5 computer monitors, typing and reading all at the same time. He's like, you need to calm down. He's like, what? I need more knowledge. He's like, you're gonna strain your eyes. He's like, he just starts laughing. He's like, gets funnier every time you say it. And he's like, you're crazy. You're obsessed with knowledge.
And then you see him and he's blind.
Yeah, he's just blind. It's all in braille and shit. That's because he can go faster. And he's like, what happens? He's like, I take my eyes out each time. Why? Because it helps me learn faster. He's like, my eyes are too slow. My hands, they're fast. And you're like, wow,
they're
cool.
Like, eyes are actually pretty fast, dumbass. He's just like, don't tell me nothing.
Nah, you just have it.
It's my gimmick.
His fingers are all blistered from all the fucking shit he's done. I was just like, just something cool, something different.
Yeah, but that's like hard sci-fi. This is sci-light.
Sci-light?
Yeah. Sci-light after night.
Yeah, dude. Like, even casuals are just like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Where's Percy Jackson at to fix this shit?
I need my Olympus dad. Come on. Who stole the lightning? Who's the thief?
Get some Kyle XY up in this bitch.
Same guy, I think. But so, yeah, Bathwater, he's like, we'll crack it. So Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Oh, we do like a montage of them trying to unlock him with fighting.
Yeah, like
a weird Jason hockey mask, electroshock therapy.
That was like a doily laying on his face with like acupuncture needles and his shirt off.
They're like, we couldn't see you, so we put this on you. Okay, John Cena. He's
like, Jesus Christ, I'm not John Cena.
He's like, that's fine, whatever. I'm getting used to it.
I would say John's on the upswing, Mark, and you're on the low.
What, John China? Nah, he's down here with me.
He's Fast and Furious. You're straight to Paramount Plus.
He's like, oh, touche. He did get a theatrical release with the Fast 9. They did delay it for a year, though. Come on now.
Hey, man. Got to give the people what they want.
Yeah, so they're just like, we can't unlock you here because as they establish, he has a metal plate in his head because he tried to kill himself as a kid because of the voices. And
he carved something in his chest.
Look inside. He carved look inside.
But you never see it on his
head. And they were just like, is he Treadway? I'm like, well, let's see. Treadway's last words, look inside. This guy's first body carving, look inside. I think it might be him. And don't forget about that metal plate, everyone. It's a MacGuffin if I've ever seen one.
Well, it turns into... It just makes the good guys dumber than ever. Like, if you keep being reincarnated, wouldn't you guys try to set, like, a history or a record? Hey, man.
Or just like an unlock word.
When you're reincarnated... always go here, like always think.
Well, yeah, the lovebirds do, but
yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like meet me in the mansion or whatever their thing was, and like there should be always a safe spot, a safe phrase or a word that kind of helps you refocus and being like, hey,
because you think they'd have centuries to figure this shit out.
Exactly. I mean,
Instead, they can't even fucking scan a body that they've had on ice for 25 years.
Yeah, it's just everything's... And I don't know if the books probably do a way better job and they just squeezed all this shit in there to an hour and 42 minutes or whatever, and it just doesn't work.
So much longer.
I was happy at the runtime. I was like, oh, thank God. But it just makes the good guys just so stupid.
Yeah.
So we go to their super base and the female Xavier is just like, hey, you remembering? It's this and this and this. And I was like,
yeah, they just
has this never happened?
They just keep telling him stuff to remember. An acceptance block and you could be a metal plate that'll be a MacGuffin later on, methinks.
Yeah, and it's just like, why don't you give this, like, it's just so stupid. They have all these things, I don't feel like they use it.
Why did he even need to have his memory blocked? Like, because then the movie's over, we find the egg? I found the egg.
Are they going to find him first and beat his ass till he goes, the egg's up my ass?
It doesn't even matter who found the egg first, because fucking Bathwater's like, I'm still going to enjoy my breakfast. We're still going to pack up the bungalow. We're going to enjoy our last few hours on Earth, and then it'll all be over. You're just like, hey, Bathwater, what the fuck, man? Hurry up. Just unleash it. The fuck, man? Where did he
have to take it to unleash it? Like a volcano? Like a Zuya? He's got to throw it in a volcano?
He wanted to do it in a big city. Because that was the thing they said is like, the more it destroyed, the bigger it got or something. So if they do it in like New York, I guess, or London, I think is where they said they were going to go, then it would just like have enough juice to wipe out the world.
Stupid.
Super stupid. What happens when he can't make the jump over the ocean?
Man,
and he's just I'm American, fuck!
I'm really getting sick of all these movies that just have these grandiose, big bad guy destroy the world just goals. It's so exhausting. What do you want to do? I want to kill the world. Why?
Why don't you just want to, like, run Italy? Like, who doesn't just want to, like, take over a country?
Just be like
Dictators love dictating. Why the fuck?
Be like Dr. Doom, man. Just have your own piece of the world and no one fucks with you. Like, I want to see that. Let's freshen that up.
That's more believable because if you have the power and the means to do shit like this, you're not like, oh, I am also suicidal.
Like, but I don't know. Like, whatever. I don't know. Where's happening?
So
they go to the casino or the private.
Well, Bathwater
Casino
has
Royale?
super secret suits that paraglide in, and they start fucking icing motherfuckers.
Just in time, the bad guys or the good guys leave.
Yeah, the good guys leave, and they brought like 5 guns. And the Celtic warrior gives one to Marky Mark, and he's like, "What am I gonna do with this?" And he's like, "Just in case. The artisan's a little crazy." And I was like, I don't think you saw the rest of the movie, because...
So they go into the casino, and they just...
And Bathwater, who's in a completely different continent, is already there. Just point that out. Because this movie has no sense of time.
And then he starts watching the rest of the movie on his Galaxy Fold. Samsung Fold.
And no one at the table says, "Hey, sir, no fucking phones at the table."
Hey, place a bet or fuck off, chief.
Well, he had the woman place a bet for him. And he's just like, you're busted every time, buddy. And he was just like, just fucking keep going.
They're like, 19. She's like, 19. She's like, hit me.
Yeah, he's just like, you fucking bust me one more time.
I'm going to bust you in the fucking mouth.
I swear to God. Could you deal a little fucking slower here? I'm going to run out of chips before they fucking do this thing.
$6,000 chips.
Yeah. So they all walk in. They have another dope car that, like, the back lifts a little bit so this tall guy can get out. And I was like...
It's a cool car. Yeah, it was like
the double
door.
But
Yeah.
like, what? And Marky Mark's dressed differently than everyone else. They're all glammed up for some stupid reason.
And he's wearing a suit, not a tuxedo.
Yeah.
Like he's going to court instead of a casino.
I get my kids back.
The burger house took them.
It's not my fault. So they go see the artisan. He's cutting up a fat guy's head. And it's the guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine that they wrote off because his character was too dominating in every scene. He just plays the crazy guy. I don't even know his name.
I hated it.
I've only liked him on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and in very small doses.
He's he fucks the scenes up.
It's jarring, and the fact is that this, he was toned down, which was weird, because I was like...
I couldn't imagine.
You just need to let him go full blast, or don't use him. Because this is super weird and still jarring, because you're just
I would have literally had CG'd him out. It cost the movie millions.
The Odyssey's invisible, okay? He's figured out invisibility. He's just now played by a voice.
I would have just, every time they cut...
by Annie McDowell.
I would just...
like, hi.
Every time they look towards, I would just do a hard edit, just a hard cut, and then their conversation...
in the background, you're just
like no one answers.
What the fuck? Why would we look at the background again?
I would have made him a disembodied computer voice, man.
So he has the perfect device conveniently in the middle of his weird secret lab, which was not hard to get into.
At all.
And he's
like if you accidentally went to the bathroom in this casino, you might have stumbled into this
Sorry.
lab.
Oh, getting up bodies in here? Well, I mean, this is highly illegal gambling anyway, so I'll just...
Is that a tube that's going to drown me to see my memory life before death thing comes back? I don't like water. I love slip and slides, but I'm not big on water.
Yeah,
I like to drink it, but I'm not big on it.
I wish they had, I don't know, given some sort of character reasoning why he's not big on water. I was just like, did you watch Unbreakable before writing this as well? Are you gonna steal any more soft sci-fi shit from any other soft sci-fi fucking influences?
More like The Happening. P.U.
Wahlberg's like, hey, come on. Oh, I see what you did there. You got me on that. It's a bad...
It's a fucking terrible movie.
Good. I mean, wait till you see that the aging one on the beach. It looks shitty, right? You thought M. Night was back. You're wrong. M. Night was never gone. He's just been M. Nighting up all over.
M. Night.
M. Night on this beach if he wants to.
It's not even your real name.
My real name now.
All right.
Hollywood names are real.
Okay.
But anyway, so yeah, they put him in a fucking water tank and drown him.
Take his shirt off again.
I don't know why they needed a special tank for that.
Yeah, I would have just like dunked your head in a fucking big gulp.
And what was with the lovebird talking to him like, I don't know if he should.
Hey man, are you gonna do it or not? Are you gonna shit or get off the pot, Marky Mark?
They were like, yeah, and he was just like, oh, I don't got a fucking choice, do I? He's like, let me shit on it real quick. But yeah, I'm totally gonna get in there and fucking drown. And I just didn't understand because it's like...
So they drown him.
Dude, they drown his ass. Like, and quick. Like, I was like...
Where's the tension, Dustin? Like,
there's no tension. And I didn't understand the connection. He didn't build any sort of relationship with her.
I don't know.
But when he came into her room and heard her sob story where she was naked, and he was just like, mind if I look around? I was like, at her tits, Mark? At her tits? Because that's what you're looking at, sir.
Everyone he called him Mark, so he's real upset with him.
Oh, definitely. I was just like, what is this weird creeper scene? You can see she's topless and meditating.
And doing some feng shui.
You can I come in here, look at some other dirty pics? You got some dirty pics?
Knock, tits, or...
Oh, nipple. I thought that scene was super weird. I was like, why is she...
Oh, he forced that in there because he's the producer.
Yeah, he was like, I want to see her fucking tits. They were like,
and
whoa, easy, Wahlberger, calm down now. We're not in Boston anymore. You can't just be... Oh, he's got money. He's got producer credits.
Everyone whip him out.
What Hollywood producers are like.
Everyone whip him out.
Tits out, dicks out. Let's go, Celtic Warrior. Drop them drawers. He's just like, oh, no. I always wanted to work with a big-time movie star. Now I regret it.
Now I'm the babyest baloney on set.
Can we make it a little less cold on the set, please? I'm just like, no, get it out. He's like, oh.
Get it out.
So I'm having an off day, guys. I'm not usually this, you know what, fuck it. Let's go on to this scene. So, yeah. So they drowned his ass. Fucking Bathwater's watching the whole thing on his Galaxy Z Fold.
And then there's dumb...
No, I think you had the HTC. No, it folded 3 ways. So you had the first Samsung Fold.
Maybe.
And
Samsung likes to experiment with the phones. They're out there having fun. What I think would have been better is if...
We didn't watch half of this fucking scene on a phone.
It's so long.
How did he have a camera in there?
And yeah, it has audio too. Most cameras
Perfect
don't
audio.
work like that. But, whatever. And then, how come the artisan was like, hey man, this place is bugged, dude. The bathwater loves to come here and...
Why didn't he have any sort of security? Why didn't he have any sort of security detection?
I thought his 2 little, the concubine girls or whatever wouldn't go, like, break into action. I was like, they ain't doing shit either.
I don't know.
This movie's got a lot of problems. Like...
So, yeah. The biggest one is that they don't kill Marky Mark. They bring him out of the chamber.
With some very poor CPR.
Yeah, the Celtic Warriors like, "Wow! They crushed your sternum!"
I'm going to drown you, and then I'm not going to have the paddles for you.
You don't have anything ready.
Nothing medical. Like, if he comes back, he comes back. If he not, I'm taking his shoes.
This is really we built this just for this one time, Like, no one really thought we'd use it. So
stupid.
It was a good set piece and a talking point for the
So
movie.
he finds out where the egg is in one of his delusions. Like, this would have been a perfect time to have the character thing. Like you said, why are you so scared of water? Yeah. Maybe he dies a couple of tragic deaths.
Yeah, we show all of his water deaths. And
yeah.
I don't go on boats. Like, I just don't do
water
it anymore.
fucks me up. Something, anything. But he's just kind of like, hey man, they plump when you cook them, and that's where the egg's at. You got to look inside yourself. I was like, cool, to be a better
and so he
person
comes back to life,
stoked,
and they're just like, dude, tell us where the egg is.
He's like, I'm having trouble breathing.
And he's just like, well, I just died for a minute, and I'm a little wet.
And doesn't little Lulu get sniped here out of nowhere?
Well, no, he says it first. He goes, it's in my old body. Thank God you guys kept it for 25 years and didn't examine it at all.
And everyone stopped and looked at each other.
Short movie. And then she gets sniped out of nowhere. Where was the sniper? I know they showed the sniper sitting somewhere, but where was the line of sight?
I don't know, man. I thought she slipped on some water.
They were underground.
I don't
They
know.
rode an elevator. All of a sudden, they were on the ground fucking floor with that shit.
I don't know, dude.
They sniped Lulu.
It was an RKO sniper out of nowhere.
And then the artist is like, let's go. And Marky Mark's like, he gets grazed, and he's just like, nah. Treadway goes down with the ship. No one snipes little Lulu on my watch.
Like little
and
Lulu.
then the Celtic War is like, no, man. You're not going to die here.
I got this.
I'll go play with toy. And then artist is like, unlock the armory. And then he takes one cool gun that like kills the whole room, and then they all just, I don't know, stand back up.
It was almost like a wannabe like Matrixy scene or Swordfish, where the rotating explosion just wipes out all these like special agent SWAT type.
I liked it. It looked cool.
It was alright, but I was like, who taught these guys how to clear a room? They all just wander in there and trigger off this.
They don't have any. I don't even know who those guys are. They're in a death cult.
I know. Bathwater has just hired guns.
Yeah.
And then...
That's the thing. They're in a death cult and they don't know it. They're just working for a death cult and they're just like, are we going to die? And I'm like, well, probably, man. But
see, that would... Okay, nice. See, that would be cool. If that was in this movie, he was like, you're going to die, but it's going to be liberating. They shouldn't be scared of dying because you're going to come back better than ever. There should be that angle where he's selling all these people to just ready to die for him. So they don't fear death. I don't know.
Or he should have like an elite 10 that...
That's what I'm saying.
So much experience that they basically like.
That's what I'm saying. The glutton guy, the reading guy with the braille guy. You'd have all these cool original characters that they have to figure out. Not all of them are going to fight, but they're all like.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying though. You just have your 10 grunt ones.
They all reconvene.
We don't have any other skill, but we are fucking murder machines, and we are tough as nails. Like fucking
like
the dude,
you
shot me 5 times.
Like the dude in the raid, the dude with the beard in the raid. The main boss guy didn't fight. That dude fought. He fought the fucking brothers, and then he went hard. It took both of them to kill that man. Like
twice, 2 movies. They brought him back. They didn't give a fuck.
This guy's amazing.
They're like, make him a different character. Let's go.
Okay. So they do this, and then the Celtic guy fights Bathwater and gets smoked in 2 seconds. Right.
Yeah.
So he's a big piece of shit.
Totally point. Him and little Lulu. She didn't do shit. She just had a cool look, and then they were just like, "We're done with you."
Yeah, dude. She was
goodbye.
She was like her Harajuku styling's going on, and so Bathwater smokes this guy, and he pulls the fucking the downloader out.
Yeah.
And they say when you get hit with the King Breaker, what is it called?
Throne Breaker.
Throne Breaker, real Cody Rhodes, and it's the most excruciating pain ever. I thought the Celtic dude was going to kill himself right then and there to be like, I'm not, no, he's like, I'm going to see you again. Blow his own head off, right? Because he knows he's beat.
Well,
or
he had an axe. He should have just been
cut his own throat or something, or fall on his own blade.
Show that you're faster than a bullet for 2 seconds.
That's what I thought he was going to do. But it's like he fought like a bitch. He went out like a bitch. And
he didn't even say anything.
He didn't say anything cool.
Treadway would totally kill me if it was really him. I was like, why would he kill you if you're on the same side and just training, dipshit?
Yeah, dude.
Doesn't make any fucking
Super
sense.
stupid. Like
Celtic dipshit is more like it.
Yeah, man. Like, it was terrible. Another terrible scene. And then I think, where are we at now?
So they escape, and they take him to like a safe house. She like caresses his face, and it's like, Mark Wahlberg, I showed you my boobies. I get to go have my own scene.
You forced me to show me.
Yeah, you forced me, but I get to go have my own scene now. And then she leaves the artisan to take care of him, and then Bathwater just already has the body because he already raided the base.
And then, the artisan's plugged up an IV playing an acoustic guitar. I was like, you're annoying.
Well, then Bathwater reaches into
the gut.
Old young Treadway, and he's just like fishing around like, uh-oh. And I was like, oh, are they going to actually be like, oh, we scanned the body and we already found that and we moved it? And then it was like, no, it's there. He just pulls it out. He's just like, no one scanned him. And then he locks it into some bomb that has some fucking death fucking metal face on the top of it.
I was like, real metal apocalypse.
He's like, hit both eyeballs, and then like rub the nose, and it activates. Like, boom, let's go get some eggs, everybody.
Yeah, dude.
We'll bomb them in the morning.
Now that we have the killer egg, let's just have brunch.
Let's brunch it up. All right. And then, so, the lovebird, she's there. She's got fucking Bathwater dead to rights, sniper on him. He senses some disturbance in his breakfast, and then he's just like, go! Overacting still.
Like, you can't even snipe right.
Yeah.
And then,
took so long.
Where is your equivalent to the Throne Breaker? You guys
they were working on one.
You're just going to snipe and he's just going to come back. And he's going to be like, what, are you going to get the egg and then make sure he doesn't come back? Like, what are the rules? Like, what's happening?
They do establish that Treadway killed the scientists and everyone involved in making the egg, so he cannot recreate it. And I was like,
what are you going to do with the egg, though? You're just going to wait till him to come around and steal it from you again?
I assumed you could just break it.
But like,
without
if you're
killing the place.
So you can reincarnate every time, right? That you still grow old and die, right?
Yeah.
So what if you kill him, you kill Bathwater, that means you need to kill yourself to stay in time with him, right? Because if you're old and he shows up young, he's going to work your ass over.
So I'll address my reincarnation problem now, because as we see at the end of the movie, and with Marky Mark, so we have like a 20-year-old Treadway in 85, and then all of a sudden we have a fucking 50-year-old Mark Wahlberg in 2021.
Because he was blocked, though.
Doesn't make any sense.
Everyone else was significantly younger, so because theirs unlocked sooner. But then why would...
At the end of the movie, like, he's in like a 15-year-old boy, I guess, and it's like, has it been 15 years? I don't, like, we're not getting any sense of time. The sense of time for... And this is kind of my problem with all reincarnation movies, is because when they want to flash to the modern day, all of a sudden they go, oh, but, I really only know these last, like, 70 years are the only ones that people even know. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't make any sense for a generational lifespan. He would only realistically have one, maybe two in that 100-year span.
Yeah.
And then the rest are going to be stuff that's kind of less thrilling.
Unless he died early in his life.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he died in, like, World War, II? And then all of a sudden, no, now you're a baby boomer. You know? Like, that's fucking it. And then, like... And baby boomers are still alive right now. So it's like, that's what I always have a problem with that, is they focus too much on this 100 years, because this 100 years is interesting, and then also Japan, feudal Japan. So you went from like feudal Japan to World War II to somehow you lived through the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and here we are in modern day.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like this movie did. And it's just like, ugh.
They have no discipline when it comes to that. They just want to go to cool stuff, like you said.
Exactly.
And just, you know.
So.
It really sucks, too, because, like, with it kind of having the action scenes, there was really no great cinematography, no great camera placement. Nothing that really sold the action. Because in this next part, it's just like a jumbled action where they got, like, dune buggies that get blown up straight.
Yeah.
It's just real not.
Oh, Mark Wahlberg tells the artisan, "I thought you were one of us. You're just a douche," and then he just leaves, and that encourages the artisan to join him.
Yeah, he's all in now.
Yeah, because artisan was like, "Oh, you were kind of a peckerhead before, but now you're like a funny peckerhead."
Now I love it.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I would have fucking thrown breaker that motherfucker from Jump Street, and I never would have blew it up.
Yeah.
And then the finale just turns into they all convene on Bathwater's palace. They're all fighting. Marky Mark gets blown up. It's straight up in the air. The Sniper Wolf girl, the girls just start fighting. I'm not going to lie, Dustin. I went to go get a sandwich on this part, so I did miss a lot of this part.
No, you did. You haven't missed anything. So, yeah.
But by the time I got...
She gets hurt. The lovebird, she gets hurt, so she's like... She gets fucked up by the other blonde chick who does nothing. Their fight scene's pathetic. I think the artisan shows up with like there's like so she barely survives her fight with the chick, and then like 5 guys just randomly show up, and then the artisan shows up and he fucking airwolfs them all. He's just like, you remember Airwolf? Brrr.
Fuck yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. Fucking brrr. That's all I'm doing. I'm just doing Airwolf right now.
That shit was sick. It was like Knight Rider.
He just does Airwolf. He's airwolfing the whole fucking last part of the movie. Marky Mark gets on a motorcycle and drives off of a cliff onto the fucking plane. He's connected with his previous chi, so he's all chi'd out of his mind.
It's this massive, like, freighter that...
Yeah.
Just
giant.
huge.
It's a giant
the
freight
only
plane.
thing inside it is just this tiny box that's strapped in there. I was like, could you get like a smaller plane?
We saw Tom Cruise as the Mummy. You put one cool thing in there, and then it ruins the rest of the movie.
You saw that?
No, but I saw that in the trailer.
Oh, okay.
It made me think of that. I was like, oh, there's a Mummy 2 right here. I was like, look, got a little mummy head on the top.
That literally killed that universe of them bringing all these, like, quote-unquote, Universal monster movies together.
Oh, no, I read a whole thing on it. It was, that fucked up everything.
You blew it, Tom.
But mostly because Universal was just, like, trying to shit the bed with it real quick. They're like, shit it out quick! And then, yeah.
Well, they just took, like, the dumbest approach to it, too.
Oh, yeah,
no one wants to see an action mummy movie like that.
They just assumed if they did a shared universe...
Without Brendan Fraser. Great movies.
R.I.P. Brendan Fraser.
He's still around.
I know, but he's all weird now. He had a lot of trauma.
So. No, I know. I saw the same thing.
Yeah.
Good
but
guy.
Anyway.
He ran into some shit.
Good guy. But, no, it's just... Anyway, I don't even know what I was trying to say about the Mummy movie. I just thought they could do a shared universe and then fucking everyone would go see it. And everyone's just like, this sucks. Like, put some thought behind it. And they were like, put Tom Cruise in it. What's the problem? And they were like, well, the A, Tom Cruise.
Boom.
And B... This Mummy movie kind of sucks, and that Dracula one also sucked.
Boom and boom.
They're like, well, how about we do The Creature of the Black Lagoon next? They're like, please don't. Please do not.
Please.
But anyway, so yeah, then there's just a fight scene. And this is where I'm gonna give you my pitch to fix the movie, Kevin.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
I'm ready.
Because this is where I had it. Wahlberg and Bathwater, they're having a scene, okay? They're kind of talking about their past a little bit. And I would completely redo this movie. Okay? And I would have this movie cut up almost in like fits. And I would show their friendship in the beginning. And I'd make this about these two men. Because that's what the movie pretends it's about, is these two men.
Yeah.
But never does any of the work.
No.
So I'd show their friendship in the early ages. You know, I show them just dying and fighting and finding each other and they're just like, hey, you, you know, and that part's a little quick, but you build this friendship with them.
Kind of
you
like
show that they're willing to die for each other.
Like Tenet was doing?
Try, yeah, like yeah,
they at least tried.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, but like that of like we're building this friendship and we're building this foundation, and then after so many deaths, you see Bathwater getting just disheartened by it.
Yeah, the fracture in the friendship. And
and you see at first Treadway is pissed by that. He's just like...
He's betrayed. He's hurt.
He's like, you are a Judas to me. Get the fuck out of here. You know, we are separate. And that's when the division happens. And you show them... And then again, like that's like your next big part of the movie is showing this division. And you show that Bathwater's been working on this fucking egg device, which I'm not calling an egg. I'm calling it something else.
Yeah, how uninteresting.
Yeah, I'm calling it like the boom boom box or something. Anything better than the egg. That he's been working on, like he has been working on this forever because it makes no sense for him to go find geniuses to do the shit. Yeah. He should know how to, because then you retain the secret every time you are reborn.
Yeah.
And so Treadway is almost like a pseudo bad guy too because he keeps hunting him down. Every time he gets close, he fucking gats him. He's just like, no.
Well, he thinks he's trying to be the hero by stopping it.
Yes.
But he's just trying to end their fucking hell that they're going through.
And then at one point, he realizes... He's doing it wrong. He's lost his faith too. And the roles switch. And so Bathwater's like, I give up on it. I'm just going to kill and download all of you. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to kill and download all of you. And then it doesn't matter. No one can stop me at that point. Then I have infinite time to destroy everything. I just need to stop all. I need to put you guys down first.
Well, and that's a big problem, though, because the downloading is really never explained on how that even works.
Yeah, I would
like,
probably...
What realm we're going into with that? Like you said, can we get into them? Are they suffering? Does it just... Like, if you want to say...
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. How are you stopping their reincarnation?
Like, if you told me, like, the egg holds their reincarnation... So I have to kill him with this, and it loads it like the Ghostbusters. I hit him with the proton pack, and I throw him in the trap, and I put him in the vault.
Yeah, something like
till I'm the final one.
Like, show me that he's Shang Tsung this shit, and he's stealing their soul and actually casting their soul into some sort of device to keep it. And that's what he switched his efforts to. He's like, fuck ending everything. I'm going to put all these souls in here. And so he's just wearing it around his fucking neck.
Yeah, because I want to be the final one. I want to be the final infinite. And I want to have endless knowledge. You know what I mean? Endless resources. And I'm going to end
everything at that point. Because I will have done everything. Yeah. We're done.
Like, I will be God here.
Yeah. And then you have Treadway. He's on the run. Like, they're done, and then it comes out that the egg was made. And then Bathwater's like, what the fuck? I need that. And then Treadway's like, oh no, like, the boom boom box. We gotta find the fucking boom boom box. Yeah. And then that's what we spend the rest of the last part of the movie doing. And then we show them...
It's a real beat the clock thing.
They both get there at the same time. We do our stupid airplane scene if you really want that again. Yeah. And then so fucking Bathwater gets it. And he's like, I fucking got it. He clicks it and he starts to disintegrate. Mm. And then Treadway, you see just a single tear roll down his eye. And he's like, it's not going to destroy everyone, it's just going to destroy you. And he just kind of tells him why he's disintegrating. He's just like, I realized the pain you were in as a friend, and I switched it. I've been working on it the whole time. But I could not kill everyone. But I could give you peace. Yeah. And just switches it, that he's been his friend the whole time still. And even though they were doing this enemy shit, he never stopped thinking about him. Yeah. And that he did all that, like, he played his role to get them to this point where he had it done and could actually give him peace.
Well, that'd have been something...
And then you just see fucking Bathwater just fucking crying tears, and like they fucking hug, and then he just disappears, and then Treadway's fucked up because he's just like, that was his only friend. And even though they did all this other shit, he's just like, now he's truly alone in the world. Even though he has all these other infinite asshole friends and shit. And then, like, boom, sequel, you just show him, what does a lost man who...
now he's a recluse, right? He's just going to wander infinitely. And then he's just like, you just make the egg like a one-shot thing where he was like, I was going to use the egg to take myself out the game. But I made sure you did it because you were hurting more. And the guy was like, that's all I really wanted. And you're like, why? Because you're my homie to the end. And now I'm stuck because that was the goal. That was the silver bullet for all of us. But I used it on you because you were hurting the most. And now I got to infinitely live with these infinite assholes.
Yeah. So.
Until somebody else comes up with another way to fine. Because that'd be kind of way better. Is they're just looking for the release. It's like real like.
Because you would. It's
like Dracula, you know what I mean? They would be like, dude, I'm so sick of being alive. Yeah,
I've lived enough, and I can't stop.
You know, I've outlived people I love, and every time
I'm a coward to end myself because I'm the only one that can do it.
Yeah, like, something like that.
Because then you know,
that would give them more, you know, depth. That would give them more struggles, like as a character. Like, what do I do? Some people exploit it or use it, and then you're just like, dude, I can't do this anymore because I keep losing people I love over time. And I keep coming back, and I'm alone. I'm alone every time.
Yeah, and it explains characters like the glutton that just go.
Well, now we got a completely Now we got a completely different movie because they become obsessed with it. Because how do you deal with the pain? You know, I want to amass all this knowledge, so maybe I can fix it. But now you become an obsessive, weird, like Batman bad guy, right?
Yeah.
And then the glutton, he was just like, I try to be the best I could be by sharing and giving, and now all I do is take. Because each life, he's like. Each time I reincarnate and I come back, nothing changes. People are always the same. They're disgusting. They're greedy. So I'm going to be the biggest. You know what I mean? Like he sets up these things where every time he reincarnates, he knows his safe word and where to go to amass all his fortune, all his glutton. And he's just like a dog with a bone. He knows where he buried it every time.
Yeah.
And he just falls into that same circle. But he gets worse each time. And then, like, that's an interesting story for him. And he's also... If he's opposition to someone, he is. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because you could have so many other things going on in this world where it's like, it's kind of like, it's like Dr. Doom and Reed Richards in a way, where it's like, they don't just deal with each other.
Yeah.
You know, so you can have other shit going on, and their storyline still builds and stacks and builds and stacks.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, now we're dealing with, like, Namor and shit like that.
Yeah,
You know, like, the glutton, or the blind fucking super genius and shit, you know?
So, that's kind of what happens here. They're in the plane, he jumps off the motorcycle, uses a sword to climb on the blades. The pilot's just like, WTF, WTF.
Yeah. The pilot's like, sir, we're gonna we gotta turn back around. And Balthazar's like, nah, we're fucking straight on till tomorrow, motherfucker. And he's like, am I in a death cult? Oh my god, I'm in a death cult. My wife was so right. Oh.
Because, like, one engine blows out, and he's like, sir, he's fucking it up with that sword.
He's like, yeah. He's walking. He's just all of a sudden, he's just like, and Bathwater's like, impossible. Because he's got a camera on the fucking top of the ship to look. This guy's obsessed with looking at this other guy.
I don't know if you ever driven a motorcycle at high speeds. You need like a helmet or goggles to stop, you know, your eyes from like
he was
working.
Feeling the wind with his face, Kevin, and cutting it.
I will give him the ramping the motorcycle off the cliff onto the plane. But when the plane's going and you're outside of the plane with your ninja sword or your samurai sword or whatever it is, you're not going to be seeing or doing much. You're going to be like holding on to the way. Because he's infinite. He's not like a superhero, right?
He can touch the universe, Kevin. He's unlocked his universe-touching powers.
I guess.
And he's able to cut into the hole and flip-flop in.
Then he jumps in. They just start fighting.
And then Bathwater, who's like 12 feet away from this hole because there's nothing. It's a big cargo plane. There's this cockpit, fucking fuselage. That's it. He's just like, where'd he go? Where'd you go, Treadway? That name kind of sucks, honestly.
If I was the pilot, I'd be like, hey, listen, I somehow lost that other engine. I'm going to go ahead and dip out. And
just going to fucking...
He should have put his helmet on.
I am not joining a death cult today. No, not again.
This parachute, I'm going to go ahead and snap this into place, and I'm going to later.
Yeah, because clearly he was not an infinite. He was a fucking jabroni who was about to job the fuck out.
He was like, dude, I just heard my kid needs new shoes. I can't call it sick.
I cannot die here. My wife will be fucking right. And that's not cool.
My wife's an infinite bitch, I'll tell you that, if I don't fucking bring home the fucking bacon.
She's just never going to let me live this down. 2 death cults in 1 lifetime? Motherfuckers. Oh, this one's taking me out of the game.
So they fight.
No, he shoots him in the head first.
That's true.
And the metal plate keeps him from being downloaded. And then he regurgitates the speech that Bathwater gave that was 10 times better. And he's just like, you don't remember me? I'm so offended. Haven't you been to a Wahlburger? It's just
Credits.
credits.
Everybody's like, what?
I don't recall Marky Mark talking like that. Yeah, well, all of his fucking voiceover shit is softened, okay? So someone else is doing that shit.
The man doesn't do ADR,
like
that's for sure.
No, he does not. Because I heard him in that Scoob movie, and I was just like, that was Mark Wahlberg? That sounded like someone wandered into a fucking booth and just started saying Mark Wahlberg type things. That's weird. Anyway, and then they fight a lot. And then they're parachuting.
The boom box falls out of the plane. They do the parachute cranked ending where they're fighting in the air. We got
Bathwater doesn't think to activate the device.
No, he just...
I'll take my chances. At least I'll die. Nope. It's all or nothing, everybody.
Yeah, and then he just gets kind of... The device hits the water. Mark
Wahlberg somehow stabs him with the sword.
Yeah.
Which I still didn't understand. And we just rewatched that part. And I was still just like, how did he get that in there? I don't know. And then dethrones him.
Right.
And I guess he's downloaded and they fall into the ocean. Where Mark Wahlberg dies.
Meanwhile, the lovebirds and the annoying guy blow up the download bank, so I don't know where he goes. Does he just...
Well, the artisan leaves, and then the lovebird, she blows it up.
Yeah, but like, where does you got downloaded? Where are you gonna go? To the cloud? Because there's no hard drive.
Fucking Balthazar?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's on the gun still, man.
That doesn't make sense. This shit doesn't make any sense. Like, even in their light sci-fi world, sci-fi light, like, there's so many things that are just not explained well.
No, not at all.
Like, not even casual, like, people, like, everybody's gonna be like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. Basically, Marx dies in the water, thank God, and the boom box is in the ocean, the egg, it's all lost forever. Now we go to Jakor, and there's these people, like, street fighting inside a hangar. And just
No, we see the lovebirds reincarnate first.
They're not important.
They spend 5 minutes on their reincarnation. They show them from baby to baby, and then just teenager.
Well, yeah, they cut to everybody just respawning.
And then they, like, hold hands.
It's real poetic.
That's it. They just hold hands and sit down.
Somebody's reincarnated in the back of a taxi. Someone's a boo-boo baby. Like, who's, like...
I'd like to give her up already. They're like, sir, how'd you stumble into it? I'm her father.
It'd have been funny if, like, a baby was in a dumpster going, I'm in the next movie.
I'm in the next one. Have you seen Look Who's Talking? Infinite?
And then that one baby's in the toilet, like the Ghoulies. You're just like, oh, that was great.
Never shit again. Like...
Oh, I'm getting stoked for the sequel.
This is like prom night all over again, Julia.
Dude, I'm just like, man, this movie's speaking up. But then we cut to Marky Mark, and he's a 15-year-old kid beating everybody's ass in a fucking...
Artisan has his natural gray hair showing, and
he looks the exact same. He just...
And my wife would agree with you, and I was like, no. His hair's pulled back and more gray. He's clearly aged. I'm going to say 15 years like this young boy. Though he does look exactly the same. Wardrobe was horrible.
He knew exactly where he was.
Yeah.
This makes no sense.
No. What makes no sense is that he says, when your son starts asking questions about who he is, tell him to see me.
And then the kid turns around and, hey, asshole, I remember you.
Yeah, I remember you. And then he walks away. I was like, what? Fucking... What? Just
he should have threw the kid was like, ha, I speak perfect English. I sound like I work at a fucking Wahlburger. You tired of that joke yet?
You want the Cobb salad? All right, but
good choice.
They're gonna spit in it.
That's the Wahlburger way,
and not because they're racist, but a little bit, like a little bit. That's why we got a D in the window.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Like,
it doesn't make any sense.
The other character's like, we're just done with the movie. Please stop.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm walking away. I gave you the business card. What more do you want?
He should have threw a sword in his back.
Did they like restart the organization?
It wasn't the dad surprised. My kid can speak English. It sounds
the dad
like
was speaking English, or the son.
No, they had to translate it for him.
Someone was speaking.
The buddy was speaking. He was like, "Oh, his son doesn't speak English. He does Jet Kundo."
What are you talking about when he remembers other things? Tito, you fucking speak English now? He's just like, yeah. I don't know why you named me Tito either, by the way. I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
Yeah, that's called the internet. Look it up, you square.
He's like, I go by Treadway now. Still not a cool name, okay? Still not a cool name.
Yeah, that's the Infinite 2021.
Yeah.
It sucks. It infinitely sucks. Throw any Infinite joke. It's terrible. It's just badly produced and put together. The narrative is all over the place.
Especially the titty scene.
It needs to be like, it felt like it's a 3-hour movie. They cut it down to $1.47 or something, and it's just, there's too much going on. It's too much movie in a small amount of time, and everything you're given and told is worthless and confusing. It doesn't make sense from scene to scene to scene. Like, nothing. There's no reward. There's no payoff. There's no follow along with these characters, and you'll get this.
I would argue there's no real characters either. There's no time spent developing any characters.
There's no development, and by characters, it's just people that you think you know, but they call them something else from something else you saw them in.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. Like I said, the one morsel of what could be cool in this movie is the act of the reincarnation over and over, and just having a mortal enemy, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's handled so poorly, and like I said, I don't know about the original source material, but this movie wants to be the Kingsman. It wants to be these witty kind of wink to the camera, sci-fi light bullshit, but it's just a giant, awful fucking mess, and I fucking infinitely hated it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not a good movie. It's very disappointing in what it tries to do. It's this weird, like, we keep calling it sci-fi light because that's what it feels like. It's like, this guy discovered sci-fi and was like, I want to do a sci-fi movie, but I also want to make it, like, entry level for everyone else.
Babies first sci-fi, right?
Exactly, you know? But I don't see anyone watching this and be like, fuck yeah, I'm a sci-fi fan now. I see anyone who's a sci-fi fan being like, why did they try to ground this horribly in reality like this when you could have just gone fucking balls to the wall?
Well, not only that, like, they were so lean, like, the action was such a crutch. They just wanted to have all this over-the-top action. It's like, pick a lane. Either make it a shoestring story with crazy dope action, or like,
do your Fast and the Furious storyline.
Fuck it, I'm just here because I know A and B and C is going to happen, but y'all going to do some crazy action. You told me everything I need to know in the first 2 sentences of the movie. That's all I need. Let's go. Or just really kind of unwrap this idea and just have fun with it and just do some really innovative, interesting storytelling, character progression. Make it about the two guys. Make it about other infinites that are affected, that are just obsessed with it in their own way, or just have it a reflection of the human psyche of what would you really do with this endless amount of time in this reset.
Yeah,
and
there's
like,
so much you could do.
So many things you could do other than what they did.
Idea. Yeah.
But
I can feel the wind of the universe. It's stinky. She's like, oh, that's the fart of the universe, sir. He's like, oh.
Passing over your nose.
Oh.
That's Infinite. Dustin, would you recommend this to anyone?
No, I would not. Not even if you're curious. Not even if you're, for some reason, paying for Paramount Plus. Nope. No, I wouldn't.
Nope. Not at all. It's a big pass. It's a no movie. You want a let's movie?
This is a no movie.
It's a let's not movie.
Let's not this time movie.
So that's it. That's Let's Movies. You checked it out. You listened. Thanks for subscribing, checking us out. You can check it on your favorite podcast providers. It's on the YouTube a week later if that is your bag. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. If you dug anything we did here, tell your friends. And Dustin,
I'll find you.